Hi Stitchy friends, welcome back. It's Sarah here with Stitchy Sarah Reads. You can find me at the same name on Instagram. This is a channel about cross stitch, and I'm also hoping to maybe talk about some books today too. Hopefully this video isn't going to be too long because I've got a lot of stuff to talk about today. The most important thing is that I have surpassed 1,000 subscribers. Thank you. Wow. So as promised, I have a couple of beautiful, amazing project bags that my mom made because my mom has a wonderful Etsy shop, my mom and my sister, called the Painted Leaf Company, and my mom makes beautiful project bags, and she made two especially for you guys to give away. So we're going to do that at the end of the show, so you got to stick around or fast forward. Don't fast forward. Okay, so yeah, so I'm hoping to do these videos like every 2 weeks. I realize I'm probably a little off schedule. It's been super crazy around here. I'm sure it's a crazy time for everybody, so I'm sure it's not just me. I am a teacher, so I spent all of last week in my classroom getting things set up and organized and all that good stuff that teachers do. And I had to get things kind of organized early because I have two children who are going to college very soon. My younger daughter, Maggie, is going to be going back to New York. So we're going to move her in this coming weekend. She's moving into an apartment in Brooklyn and continuing her fashion design program at Pratt. So I'm going to miss her a lot. And my son is starting, he's a freshman, he's starting at Columbus College of Art and Design. So we're moving him into his dorm the following weekend. So I'm not going to have a whole lot of stitching time in August, just between the start of a new school year and getting these kids packed and ready to go. But I will have some time to stitch in the car. It's a long trip from Ohio to New York, so I'll have some time there. Anyway, yeah, so let's just dive right in, shall we? I don't have any finished, excuse me, I don't have any finishes this week. I've been working on a lot of stuff. I do have a finish for now I can show you. Let me grab that. So this is one of my stitch alongs. Oh. It is the Little Women stitch along, hosted by Stitching Book Club. You can find that on Instagram at Stitching Book Club. If you want to purchase the patterns though, you can go to Etsy. Her Etsy shop is called Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts, and I believe Mountain is just MTN. And she sells her designs there on Etsy. So this is a 4-part mystery stitch along. We're reading the book Little Women as we stitch, hence the name Stitching Book Club. And so 3 parts have been released, so there's only 1 part left. The last time I showed this to you, I only had part 1 finished. So since you saw me last, I've also done part 2 and part 3. So this one's all caught up, which I'm super excited about. All right, here we go. I'll just kind of, there we go. Can you see it? Oh, there we go. Forgot to bring my board down, so hopefully you can't see through it. So, yeah, the last time you saw it, all I had was this floral motif up here, the words Little Women, this quill, and this needle. So since then, I've added the house and the trees on either side, and I added the words at the bottom. So I've added a good chunk since you saw this last. That house was a beast, but it's so cute. I love it. I can't wait to see what part 4 is. I'm guessing maybe it's going to be some kind of border. Guess we'll see. So that one's going to be done very soon. I'm very excited about that. So that's my finish for now. That's all I've got as far as finishes this week. Oh, I forgot to show you my little needle minder. I showed it to you last time. I'll show it to you again. This is my little Stay Positive from Rebel Stitcher. So cute. So yeah. I think part 4 for this Sal is going to be released towards the end of August. So I've got a little bit of time until that comes out. All right, so let's head right on into WIPs, works in progress. I've been working on a few things since I saw you last. Let's start first with, in my last video, I asked you guys what should be my new start. I had 2 patterns that I was kind of going between, and I asked you guys what you liked. So I'll show you the 2 again. So they're both from the Blue Flower. I had Strawberry Bird, so pretty, and Acorns, again, both from the blue flower. So a lot of you commented and gave me your thoughts and advice, and overwhelmingly Acorns was the top pick. So and I'm feeling the fall Halloween type stuff right now. So Acorns is a good choice for me right now. I'm totally gonna stitch this as well, but not right now. So yeah, Acorns was the winner, and so I have a little start, but I was having some issues with this one. So anyway, I'll show you the fabric first. I'm stitching this on 36 count linen from Mystic Fabrics in the color Lemongrass. And I was starting in I'm a middle starter usually, and so starting with the O here, and the blue in that, the called for is the color St. Bernard. Let me show you that. Classic Colorworks St. Bernard. And it just was not showing up very good on my fabric. And, you know, on the picture, the color is a lot darker. So I was like, okay, that's not going to work for me. So instead, I had this one in my stash that I pulled. Twilight by Weeks Dye Works. I thought that might work a little bit better. So I pulled that, and I brought this with me to the summer stitch day that was hosted by Keepsakes recently, and I had a little start at it, and I asked Barb. Barb is the owner of Keepsakes. I asked Barb, I showed her what I had. I asked her if she thought that blue was fine. She said yeah, but I have a teensy tiny start, little squirrel, part of the O. And my problem was, now this is my first time stitching on 36 count. I should have started with that. It's my first time stitching on 36. I've done 28, 32, 40. I guess I skipped over 36 for some reason. So it's my first time stitching on 36, and I just wasn't pleased with the coverage. I'm using one thread over two threads of fabric. And so I asked Barb, I said, should I be using 2 strands? And she said it's really a personal preference. Some people use 1, some people use 2, but she said she personally likes 2 when you're stitching over 2, because it's just not, I don't know if you can see that, but that coverage just, it's not my preference. I want it to be a little more bold. So I will be frogging my teeny tiny start and starting over. So hopefully the next time you see me, I'll have restarted and I'll have a little bit more progress on that. Got my super stitcher needle minder on here that I got from my wonderful stitchy friend Jen. Thank you, Jen. It's from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. Caterpillar Cross Stitch has the best needle minders. They're so strong, and I just love them, and they're so cute. I feel like Caterpillar Cross Stitch and Flamingo Toes on Etsy, they have my favorite needle minders. Just FYI. Okay, so there's that. So I started that, gonna be restarting it. All right, what else have I worked on? So let me pull out my next one, another blue flower design. Let me pull it out of the plastic, sorry. I've been working on the Tudor bee from the blue flower. So beautiful. Been stitching this one in hand, so it's going a little bit slower for me because I'm just not used to stitching in hand, but I've made some good progress. You see it? There we go. Sorry, I wish I should have brought my board down. I usually have a board that I put behind it to kind of keep it flat, but there we go. So I've got, excuse me, I've got all of the greenery done around the outside here. I need to fill in with some more flowers around the edges, and I've started filling in some of the white stripes around the center here, and then I'll save the bee for last. So that's where I'm at with that. I'm stitching this on 40 count latte from Fiber on a Whim, and I'm loving it. So cute. Okay, moving right along. Oh, got another stitch along here for you. I was hoping to have another finish for now, but And I was stitching my little fingers off, but I'm just not quite there. So I'm doing the Frosted Pumpkin Christmas Wreath Sal stitch along. And we are getting close to the end, folks. So here's what I got. There's what I've got. So as you can see, I'm gonna kind of fold this over a little bit. I am working over here. So this is the second to last part, second to last clue. So I've got all of the motifs stitched for this part, the little ornaments and the peppermint candy and the light and the gingerbread boy. So I'm just filling in the green. So once I get the greenery filled in, then that will be a finish for now. And then our final clue, of course, is going to be the rest of this part down here. And then we're turning this bad boy into a pillow. And I can't wait. It's so gorgeous. I cannot wait to display this. So there's that. Yeah. I didn't bring my my other frosted pumpkin stitch along to show you, the Cozy Cafe, because I haven't started the most recent clue. So hopefully I'll have that done to show you next time. Okay, moving along. I've been working on Stars Bright by Lindy Stitches, another one of my favorite designers. And I've got a little more done on this one. So I'm stitching this on a 40 count Jody fabric, Jody from Steel City Stitchers, that I bought at StitchCon. And I've got this part of the words done. We would be together and have our books. And I'm filling in a few more of the quilt squares. So I'm making some steady progress on this. I just love it on this fabric. And I've got my little Made to Create needle minder from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. Since I finished that project, I figured I would use it for one of my other ones. So that's where I'm at with that one. Hopefully I just keep making some steady progress on that, and you'll get to see it grow more and more as we go along. All right, I have a couple more new starts besides the Acorns, because I can't control myself. So I'm sure you don't know how that is, right? Yeah, okay. I went to Keepsakes recently and spent some money. And one of the things I bought while I was there was this. I'm sure you've seen it. It's wonderful. It's amazing. If you don't have a copy, you really need one, because there are 10 million things in here that I want to stitch. So I started one thing out of the 10 million, and it is, oh, sorry, I'm dumb. I should have marked the page and I didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. Here, I thought I was all organized. Here it is. Oh boy, this one, I love it. Happy Owloween by Autumn Lane Stitchery. Look at that owl. You know I love to stitch owls. So I have a little start on this one too. Here we go. Not a whole lot done on it, but a little start. I'm stitching this on a 32 count linen from Mystic Fabrics called Veteris. I never know how to say it. I'm just gonna show it to you. I got this from Garon Stitchery. Yeah, how do you say that? Veteris? I don't know. That's what it is. So that's what I'm using. And yeah, I just have a little tiny start on this. Just have the owl's scarf and her belly, and that's it. But it's gonna look so good. I love it. All right. And my next new start, as I mentioned, I was just at Keepsakes recently, and I went to Keepsakes because I wanted to get some new patterns, and I wanted to try some new to me designers, because I stitch a lot of my favorite designers. I love stitching the Blue Flower. I love stitching Lindy Stitches. Got a few Frosted Pumpkins going. So I was like, I need to branch out. I need to try new to me designers. So I went to Keepsakes, which is my local needle workshop, and and I was like, I'm just gonna see what jumps out at me, and I'm gonna grab it. And if you've heard about keepsakes, or if you've been there, it's so beautiful. You walk in and there's just all these stitched models all over the place, and you see something, you're like, I gotta stitch that, and you go find the pattern. And so I just walked in, I just looked at everything, and there was this one piece hanging on the wall, and I was like, oh, I want that. And I asked Barb, I was like, who is that? Whose design is that? She goes, oh, it's a Blackbird. I'm like, oh, I've never stitched any Blackbird designs. And you know, obviously the one of the designers for Blackbird, Barb, she just passed away recently. So, you know, it's a great time to try them out and kind of pay homage to her in that way by stitching one of her designs. So, so I've got Away We Ride. As I said, I'm really into the fall Halloween stitching right now, so I grabbed this one. It's gorgeous. I love it. And so I started it. So I'm stitching this one on, it's 32 count Murky by Picture This Plus. So I've got to start on the house there. It's really interesting because the colors of the house don't look like the picture, and I'm using the called for colors. So I find that interesting, but I like it. It's looking good. I've got my new needle minder, Keeps Peeps. That was designed by Rebel Stitcher. I think she collaborated with Barb, the owner of Keepsakes, to create these, and they sold them at our summer stitch day the other day. So Keeps Peeps for keepsakes. So yeah, that's my start. I'm loving it. It's like you can see through it, sorry. I'm loving it so far. That house is really fun. I'm using almost all of the called for colors. I did have to substitute because there were just some of the gentle arts that I could not find. So I did have to find another color for the orange. The one that's called for is Pumpkin Pie. I couldn't find it. So I went over to Keepsakes with my new friend Kim, and she helped me pick out a color. So we picked out, oops, Fragrant Cloves. So I think that's gonna, it's nice and variegated. I don't know if you can really see that, but I think that's gonna look cool. It looks nice with the other colors. So I'm excited to see how this one progresses. All right. Oh, I think that's it. That's all of my whips. So that's all I've worked on since I saw you guys last. I do have another project. Well, we'll just go right into haul because this kind of goes with my haul. So I did kit up another project, another pattern that I bought at Keepsakes. And this one, the picture's kind of blurry, but it's a Prairie Schooler. Again, I saw this stitched up and displayed at Keepsakes, and so I just had to have it. It's called Pumpkin Patch. And so I want to stitch both of these. I want to stitch the little ones, and I want to stitch this. I would like to stitch these as like little pillows because I just bought a dough bowl the other day, so I'm going to need to fill it with some little pillows. So I think those would be really cute little pillows. So, oh, I got to show you my bag too. I haven't been showing my bags because I show you my bags every time you've seen them, but I don't think I've shown this one yet. This is another one from my mom's shop. The little puppies. This one's a really popular one. And of course I have the matching Notions bag inside where I keep all my floss and stuff. There we go. And there's the back. Painted Leaf Company. I love this one. So I picked up this fabric at Keepsakes. All of it. Pretty much everything I have is from Keepsakes. So I thought this would look cute. It's kind of washing out a little bit. It's called Mellow from Picture This Plus, and it is a 40 count. So I think that's going to be really pretty. So a couple of new to me designers. I've never stitched Prairie Schooler, never stitched Blackbird, but those were really calling to me when I was there. So that's another one of my new to me patterns. I bought some other patterns too, so I'll show you those as well. So I just mentioned that I wanted to stitch up some pillows for my new dough bowl. So I was on Etsy, and another one of my favorite designers is the Little Stitcher. She's the one who designed this piece over here, the Queen of the Bees. And so I was on her shop and I ordered Happy Halloween. So I don't think I'll stitch this all as one. I think I'll just pull out some of the ones that I really like and stitch them as little small pillows for my dough bowl. I really like the owl. He's super cute. Love the cat. I love this tree with the tombstone over here. So I'm gonna have fun figuring out which ones I want to stitch from there. I also ordered from the Little Stitcher winter animals. Oh, look at those. And I want to do those as little pillows too. I love that fox. I love the little squirrel down here. The bird, I'm guessing it's a robin. I don't know much about birds. So yeah, got those. Ordered those off of her Etsy shop. A couple more patterns that I bought. These were from keepsakes as well. So I wanted to get some Christmas while I was there. I had wanted to do Jolly July, but I just never got myself motivated to do it. But I have a couple new Christmas patterns now. So whenever I get around to stitching Christmas, I'll have some things to stitch. So got another Prairie Schooler, Santa's House. And again, when you're at Keepsakes and you see these stitched, I mean, if I just saw the pattern, I might not have wanted it as much, but just seeing it stitched, I was just like, wow, I gotta stitch that. So there's that one. And I saw this one stitched and I loved it. So this one is called Evergreen, again from Prairie Schooler. Barb, the owner of Keepsakes, she had stitched this. She had stitched it as two separate pieces. And so she grouped the animals together, and she changed their colors, and she stitched the Santas. And so I just liked how she grouped them, and I liked the color changes she made, so I thought that was really cool. So yeah, and I even like just the little one. You could just stitch the little one as a pillow. Apparently I'm going to be making a lot of pillows. We'll see. Making big plans for myself. And my last pattern that I bought, I saw this on another Flosstube. She was a new to me Flosstuber. She was doing a whip parade. I believe her name was Melly Ellie. I will link her below. I just loved seeing all of her projects, and she had started this one. This one was one of her whips. And this is another Blackbird design. So as soon as I saw it, I had to go order it. Midnight Watch. Look at that cat. So I'm really excited to kit this one up and start it too. So I've got a lot of stuff to stitch. So many patterns, so little time, right? Yeah. Continuing my haul. Apparently I've been buying a few things lately. So as I'm getting into the holiday spirit, my Halloween and Christmas stitching, I decided that I needed more grime guards. I don't, but I ordered some anyways. So I went on to my favorite grime guard shop on Etsy, Crab Shack Stitchery, and I ordered some more grime guards for myself. So I ordered this big one, and she has different sizes. I think this one's gonna fit, I think I got it to fit an 11 by 14 Q-snap. So there's that one. This one I think is gonna fit an 11 by 11. Look at it, the fancy deer. Look at him with his little monocle and her glass of wine. They're very fancy. And this one I believe is gonna fit an 8 by 8 Q-snap. It's Rudolph. How cute. So yeah, I'm hoping she gets some, she said she would. She was gonna be stocking some like Halloween and fall grime guards in her shop, so I'm gonna keep checking back to see if those are available. But she's so nice. She sent me a couple freebies with my order, which I was blown away by. She sent me these little zipper pouches. Aren't those so cute? just cute little zipper pouches. They're nice. You can tell they're like, they probably have like a fusible fleece in them or something. They're nice and sturdy and lined. So I'll probably use these. I do have a couple project bags that I don't have notions bags for, so I'll probably throw these in there to hold like my floss and scissors and stuff. So thank you. If you haven't shopped her Etsy shop, you need to go check her out. Crab Shack Stitchery. She's always putting different ones in there, so you just gotta keep checking back. Okay, a little more haul, sorry. While I was at Keepsakes, I was looking at the sulky threads. I've never stitched with sulky threads, but I hear a lot of good things about them. I know Jody from the Steel City Stitchers is in love with them. She just bought a whole bunch of them. So I thought I would just dip my toes in. So I just bought this little set here of these like fall colors. So I'm excited to check them out. When I was at Keepsakes, Barb, the owner, she told me that the best fabric to stitch with these on is a 32 count. So I'm gonna give it a try. Do you guys stitch with these? Do you like them? I'd like to hear. All right, last bit of haul here. So I forgot to show you this in my last video. I got my Jody fabric. Sorry, I'm talking about Jody a lot from Steel City Stitchers. I just love them. But Jody dyes fabric, and she has a Fabric of the Month club. And you don't know what colors you're getting. It's always a surprise. So every month when I get my package, I'm just so excited to open it up and see what I get. So here's what I got. Look at those. Look at this with the purple and the pink. Oh my goodness. And that like baby blue, so pretty. So I've been getting the 28 count Lugana, but I did just recently contact her and ask if I could switch to a 36 count linen. So I'll start getting some 36 count linen in my shipment in August. So thank you, Jody. I love them. I haven't gotten a piece of fabric from Jody that I didn't like yet. So if you're not in her Fabric of the Month club, you need to get on her wait list because her fabrics are so good. And then speaking of Fabric of the Month clubs, I just joined the Be Stitch Me Fabric of the Month club. My friend Rose that I met at StitchCon, she suggested it. And so I signed up. And so I just got my first Be Stitch Me fabric in the mail. Sorry for the crinkle, I'm opening it up. And I love it. It is a 36 count linen in the color Scroll. So I don't know if you could tell, but there's like some like purpley bits in here, which I thought was really cool. So this might be fun for some like fall or Halloween stitching. So yeah, I think that's all my haul. All right. So before I get to my giveaway, there were a couple of other things I wanted to mention. The first thing, and I'm really excited about this, which is another reason why I haven't stitched as much as usual, is because I've been working on a collaboration with Liz Matthews. It's top secret. I'm not allowed to really tell you anything about it. But she's collaborating with several different like Flosstubers and Instagrammers on a project or a design that she's working on, and she's going to be releasing soon, I believe, for Needlework Expo. So I've been working on that. So I'm hoping that my contribution will, I hope she'll like it. I hope you guys will like it, and I'm really excited for you guys to see it. So that's something exciting coming up. So yeah, oh, I wanted to show you guys. I brought my Stitchy Journal. I was inspired, not inspired because I've been doing this all year, but I was inspired to share it with you by Steph from Just Keep Stitching, because she does a Stitchy Journal. She does a book of days. Hers is way cooler than mine. I have stickers on the cover of mine, but not inside. But I just thought I'd share it with you just because it'd be fun. So here's my Stitchy Journal. I've got some stickers on the front there. Got my sticker that I got from the Cozy Cafe Sal. Got some on the back here. So I just stick them on there. This is just a journal that I ordered off of Amazon. It wasn't very expensive, just a lined journal. Nothing crazy in it. So what I do in my journal is, in the very front, I keep a list of my finishes, so 2021 finishes. So I just list the name of the design and the date that I finished it on. And then on each page, I write down, every time I start a new project, I start a new 2-page spread. So I write down the name of the designer, or sorry, the name of the pattern. So Christmas Celebration Sampler. I write down the designer, right when I started, finished, when I FFO'd it. I write down the fabric I used and what floss I used, if I had to make any substitutions. And then I just kind of write down my thoughts about the piece and like why I wanted to stitch it, and you know, if I enjoyed stitching it, how I decided to finish it. And I like to put pictures in my books. So anytime I FFO a piece, I want to put a picture in here so that I can look back, especially if it's something that I stitch and give away, which I don't do very often because apparently I'm very stingy with my stitching, but I like to have a record. So see, like this one I did stitch and give away to somebody, but now I'll always remember it because I have a picture of it. So that's just what I do. And like some of these pages don't have pictures yet because it might be something I haven't finished stitching or something that I haven't FFO'd yet. Apparently I have a lot of those. But yeah, I like to have the pictures in here so I can look back on it and remember my time stitching it. So do you guys keep any type of stitchy journal? I'd love to hear from you. How do you document your stitching? What do you do? I'm more of an old school, like I like to write it down. I'm not so much of a digital person. Might be my age, I don't know. So anyway, that's that. Okay, so let's get right to the giveaway because I promised it and we're doing it. So as I mentioned before, my mom had offered to make a couple of bags to give away on my channel when I reached 1,000 subscribers. That happened really quickly, which thank you, that was awesome. So she had to get moving on those bags. I said, Mom, you gotta give those bags to me because I gotta give them away. So she actually came over yesterday because we celebrated my daughter's 21st birthday, and we had a going away party for her and my son. So my mom brought the bags, so they are here, and I am ready to send them to you. So let's take a look at them. All right, so the first one is bees. Look at it, it's so pretty. So it's kind of washing out a little bit, but this is pink up here. I'll show you the back here. And you've got like the beehive and the bee scap and the little bees. I love the floral details on it. So there's that. And my mom made it. It's from the Painted Leaf Company. And I love the hive, what is that word I'm looking for? I don't know. But I love the inside fabric. It's so cute. And I love that the gold zipper matches this. Honeycomb, that's the word I'm looking for. I like the honeycomb fabric inside. So that's one of them. Oh, it's got this cute zipper pull. So that's the first one I'm giving away. And so in order to enter the giveaway, first of all, you need to be 18 years old so I can get your address. You also need to be a subscriber to my channel and you need to like this video. And in the comments, I want you to use the word bee. Bee singular, okay? So just use the word bee. You know, maybe say, I want the bee bag. Don't use the word giveaway or win or free. Just tell me you want the bee bag. Okay. The second one that I have is this. I showed this fabric on my channel before, so my mom liked it so much that she went and bought it as well. And so look at that. So if you're in the mood for some fall stitching, you're gonna need this bag. And I just love the orangey polka dot inside. It's got the gray zipper. It's got the zipper pull. So if you'd like to win this bag, you can use the word pumpkins, plural. Pumpkins. I want the pumpkins bag. And so I'll be giving those away. So again, make sure you're a subscriber, make sure you've liked the video, and make sure you are over 18. So be pumpkins. And I'll be getting those out to you. And if you don't win, don't worry. My mom is going to have some of these in the shop, so you can go over there and buy one for yourself. That's exciting. Okay, fantastic. So that's all I've got for you stitching wise this week. I showed you all my whips. I showed you my giveaway. So at this point, I think I'm going to talk a little bit about books. So if you don't really want to hear about books and you were just here for the stitching, that's awesome. You can sign off now, and I'll see you next time. Otherwise, let's talk about what I've been reading lately. Okay, so I've read a few books, but I just pulled a couple because I didn't want this to be a really long section. So I pulled out a couple of my favorite ones that I've read recently. So last week, I read this book, The Other Wes Moore, by Wes Moore. And it's a nonfiction book. It's about this man named Wes Moore. He wrote this book, and he learned that there was another man who lived in the same area as him, also named Wes Moore, who had been convicted for murder, and he was in jail. And the Wes Moore who wrote this book was, a highly successful man. He had a rough growing up, just like the other Wes Moore, which he finds out later. But he was just really interested to find out, like, where did our paths diverge? Where did how did the path of the other Wes Moore's life take him in this direction, and the path of my life take me in that direction? So he was just really interested to reach out to this guy and learn his story, because he felt a kinship with him, having the same name. So the Wes, I'll show you his picture too. There he is. So this Wes Moore, he met with the other Wes Moore who was in jail. He was incarcerated. And he just talked to him and learned his story. They found out that they both grew up without fathers. The author, Wes Moore, his father died when he was really young, suddenly. And the other Wes Moore, his father just wasn't part of his life. And so they both grew up in single-parent households. They both kind of had rough upbringings, but just seeing how the trajectory of our lives can be so different, just depending on all the different factors in our environments and the people in our lives. This Wes Moore, he was very fortunate that even though, he had lost his father, his mother's parents had taken them in, and so he had a really great support system. He started kind of going off the rails when he was a teenager, and his mother put him in a military school, which he didn't like, but it really helped kind of straighten him out. And so, having that support and having those resources available to him, was really important in, how he grew up and how he, how his life progressed. And so the other Wes Moore, his single mother, she tried, there's no placing blame and saying it's anyone's fault, but she didn't have the same kind of resources. She didn't have the same kind of support system available to her to help her with her son. And so, it was kind of sad, and it was kind of heartbreaking just to see how, one person's life can go so horribly astray, while another person who kind of had the same humble beginnings, his life turned out so much differently. So I've been wanting to read this for a while. When my oldest daughter went to the Ohio State University, they gave all of the freshman students a copy of this book. She never read it. But I finally got around to reading it, and I really enjoyed it. I actually read and listened to it on audio, and the audio is narrated by Wes Moore, which I thought was pretty cool. So, and I know he has a new book out. I'm not remembering what it's called right now, but I definitely want to read that as well. So, The Other Wes Moore, check it out. And so my next selection I just finished it yesterday actually, is called The Sweetness of Water by Nathan Harris. This is actually pretty new. I think it just came out recently. So this is fiction. It's Oprah's Book Club 2021. And I believe this is a debut novel from this author, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, the story here, and I'm going to try to tell you about it without giving too much away. The story here is about two brothers, Prentice and Landry. They are freedmen. They were enslaved. They were living in the South on a plantation, working in the fields, and they were freed due to the Emancipation Proclamation. And so they're just kind of trying to make their way in the world and decide, you know, where do we go? What do we do from here? You know, because they're free. So now what, right? Their ultimate goal is that they definitely want to find their mother. She had been sold off to another plantation, so they don't know where she is. So it's kind of like they would like to find her. But they're just kind of, you know, kind of roaming around, just trying to find their place in the world. And so they end up on the property of this man named George Walker. He and his wife lived there on the property, and they recently found out that their son, who was a Confederate soldier, was killed. That's not a spoiler. This happens in the very beginning. And so in their grief, you know, the husband, George, he decides he kind of wants to pour his grief into the land, and he wants to farm, and he wants to create a peanut farm, and just do something productive with his life. And so when he meets these two, Prentice and Landry, he says, hey, you know, you can live here on my farm, and all I ask is that you work with me, not for me, with me, because he goes out there and works with them to create this peanut farm. I will pay you. You can live here. I'll feed you. So, you know, it's not like you're going from one situation to the next. It's, you know, you're being paid. And so they decide, okay, that's fine for now. We'll do that for now. And so they stay on the Walker's farm. And so kind of alongside this story, you get the story of these two Confederate soldiers who have a relationship. And obviously back in the days of the Civil War, homosexuality was frowned upon back then. So they have to keep their relationship a secret. And so they meet in the woods, and they are seen by someone, and the repercussions of that are just overwhelming. Someone ends up getting killed, which again is just jacket copy. I'm not spoiling anything. And just the ripple effect throughout the whole community is just gut-wrenching, and just unnecessary. And so this book, it gutted me. It was beautifully written. The characters were well developed, and you know, I couldn't put it down. I had to see what was going to happen next. And you know, it wasn't one of those stories that was wrapped up in a neat, tidy little bow at the end, but it had a satisfying ending. And so I definitely recommend this one. I give it 5 stars. 5 out of 5 stars for this one, Sweetness of Water. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up here. So let me know what you guys thought about the book talk, if that's something you're interested in hearing more of. If you're reading something, I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to hear what you're stitching. Are you into stitching fall like right now like I am, or are you stitching Christmas? Are you just doing your own thing? What are you stitching right now? All right, guys. Well, I'm going to sign off. This was kind of a short video, but that's okay. There's no need for me to ramble on when I have nothing else to talk about. So you guys have a great week. Make sure you enter my giveaway, and the next time I see you, I'll be giving away those beautiful bags. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.